One path is a long, winding, unpaved, back-breaking, bumpy, miserable road to a place called success. The other road is straight, paved, smooth, comfortable, and that road ends up in a place called failure. Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Matthews on the Matthews Mentality Podcast, where we dive into the mindset of the world's most driven founders, CEOs, business moguls, athletes, and entrepreneurs. Each episode will turn our guests' wisdom into practical advice that will help you build a deeper understanding of what led them to success and the mentality behind what got them there. Let's get started. Speaking of taking everything personally, your time at the Trump Organization, Donald Trump, just give us a real quick, okay, so you're at Arthur Andersen for 7 years. You're assigned to this account, the Trump Organization, and then one day you're working there. Walk us through.
Let me tell you what happened. It really is a pretty funny story, and there's a lot of
You told me the opening night story one time.
There's some lessons to learn.
I've repeated this story to 15 different people because obviously President Trump comes up a lot in conversation, and I was like, well, I don't know him, but I know a guy who knows him.
So when I was with Andersen and working for the Trump Organization, he had a lot. I mean, Plaza Hotel in New York, the St. Moritz Hotel, Eastern Airlines at one point. This is a long time ago, to the 80s. And then there were the casinos. And he took over, and we, for Arthur Andersen, in a lot of ways, were his financial people, doing the due diligence and that kind of stuff for the old, for this half-completed thing called the Taj Mahal, which was owned by Merv Griffin and Resorts International. And Trump wrested control of it. It was a half-built casino. I'm still working for Arthur Andersen, but because I worked on that due diligence for so long, the guy I worked with at the Trump Organization offered me a job as vice president of finance. I'm 29 years old. I am as green as can be. I'm now going to be the vice president of finance of the Taj Mahal, making $100,000 a year. I thought I was going to be I could be the governor of New Jersey with that kind of income. Little did I know it was only going to last 9 months. But anyway, so I take the job. I move down to the Atlantic City area.
So you move your family?
I'm alone at this point.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm in my 20s, and
you're married to the profession.
To the profession. So I wind up going there, and I think I'm a big shot, and I know nothing. And this business is a tough business. One of the things that has to happen, the casino business, one of the things that has to happen in those days, and it's not the case anymore, handling coin was always a very difficult thing in a casino.
Literal coin.
Literally coins. You used to put quarters in the slot machines and that kind of stuff. And so all that it's heavy. It's got to be counted. It's got to be moved to the bank within the casino, which is called the cage. And so you're building a casino, so every vendor wants to sell you something. I'm the new VP of Finance. Company comes in. I'll never forget this, man. I don't want to say their name because they may still be around, although I doubt it. Came in and said, we can put these small little change machines between each slot machine. And, if you think about the old arcades where you had those big change makers, well, these were little things that actually stood in between each of 3,000 slot machines. So there were 1,500 of these that were supposed to be delivered 6 months before the opening of the Taj. Well, the company was undercapitalized. They could not meet the schedule.
And this was not your decision to do.
This was my decision.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is dumb guy here, right
you
here.
Said, hey, I have a great idea.
Not understanding how important not only credit is of your vendors, but ability to perform.
And that's what you meant as I know nothing.
I know nothing, right? I'm sitting here, and I shouldn't have been able to make that decision, but I did. And so these change makers are being delivered literally 24/12, 7 hours before the opening of the Taj Mahal. 3 days before they're delivered, I've been working 24 hours a day. I mean, I'm up day and night. The opening of a casino is an unbelievable thing. I collapse on the casino floor 3 days before the opening of the Taj.
Like you just drop.
Get taken to Atlantic City Medical Center. Little did I know that I was dead man walking from that point forward. Trump had heard about that. One of his executives was a weakling. There was no way I was going to survive. Now, did I know that at that time?
So they viewed you as a weakling because you collapsed from working 3 days straight.
Sure. 3.5 months. But yeah.
3 months straight.
So
Okay.
I go back, the next day. It was just dehydration is all it was. But I go back the next
You were in
day.
that Mad Men phase. You were drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm doing.
Right.
No, I'm just trying to survive, Kyle.
gotcha.
Believe me. So I go back into the casino, and these machines are being delivered, et cetera, et cetera. Here comes now the day of the opening, 1990. It was like April 7th or something like that. And I'll never forget this, like never. This is a big deal. Here comes Trump. He's coming up out of the floor of the Edis Arena with the smoke and the lasers and the whole deal.
Had you ever met him before?
Oh, yeah. No, I'd met him all through the Arthur Anderson time. Up he comes, and, the governor of New Jersey is there. Michael Jackson is there at the opening. This is a huge, huge opening. And here's the sub-story. Just let me give you this little sub-story. This is now 1990, in the beginning of the savings and loan crisis, okay? This thing needs to open well. But in Atlantic City, this is the last casino being built. This is thousands of union jobs. This is the last project. Guess what that means? They don't want it finished.
God.
And so sabotage throughout the building. Fire set, construction issues that wouldn't allow you to finish. Like, there's a lot going on here. This is $1 billion, $750 million, I guess.
New
was the number.
Jersey Union.
This is this is a problem.
It's like the mob.
Well, it's not the mob, but it is clearly, just economically, it's the last job. So for going into, it was pretty clear going to be a savings and loan crisis of some sort. Anyway, so here comes the opening. The gates are down. There are 20,000 people waiting to come into the casino. I am now standing there, fresh out of the hospital, 2 days there.
Couple IVs and you're feeling good.
And I'm 2 steps up looking out over this massive casino floor. The casino, I think, was 125,000 square feet. This is, this is a Target store. That is, it's a big, big space with 3,000 slot machines. And if I, as I'm older, have Alzheimer's and have no memories at all,
You're going to remember this.
the one memory I'm going to remember is those gates going up. Picture this. Gates going up, 20,000 people flooding this 125,000 square foot casino floor. Each of these change machines had a red malfunction light at the top of them. As people flooded onto the casino floor, and I'm standing with a very good view of the floor, all of a sudden I see blink, 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 and all of these things are malfunctioning. Like before, that feeling of holy cow, and up comes the red and the hair on the back of your neck and all that. This isn't going to be good, because the deal is very clear. In New Jersey, to get a license, of every dollar gambled, 7 cents goes to the state.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for that math to work, you have to know how much was gambled, and you got to be able to reconcile. And with these machines malfunctioning the way it is, we couldn't. So they shut the casino down
That night?
that night.
Oh, my
It took forever to get it back opened. Everybody was fired. I was escorted out of the building
This is
by security.
the next Monday?
3 days. I made it 3 days.
Dead man walking. Did
Dead-
anyone
dead
talk to
man
you
walking.
in those 3 days?
Oh, it was, well, that's a good, you know who your friends are and who they're not, right? So I'll just never forget being escorted out of the building, getting to the parking garage, getting in my car and leaving that parking garage. And you know what feeling I had? I'm 30 years old. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I am relieved. Just huge relief. And that's so important, because I got to tell you, for the next, I'm aged, at 30 at that time, I'm 62 today, right? So for the next 30 years, I think I can spot somebody over their head in a job better than anybody, because I was that guy. I had no business being in that position at that age and at that time. And, it doesn't matter what the person's saying to you. It doesn't matter if they're saying, no, I got this, everything's fine. No, you don't. I can read it, I can feel it, I can see it. It's a great lesson, and it impacted the rest of my life. Best thing that could have ever happened to me was getting fired by Trump.
And I was going to ask, did it feel like that? But
It did.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow.
It did. Let me out of here is what it was about.
Speaking of mentality, that guy's mentality is an interesting one to dive into, but we're not going to do that today.
Please don't put me in that position.
No, I will not. I don't think there's enough time in the world to unpack that.